¿Dónde vas?
Te dejo, Ernesto.
Los Abrazos Rotos.
Oh, really? You're going to go with the Spanish name?
Sí.
Oh, we like that now.
Can I get 2 of those with a side of guacamole? Sí.
No,
We're going somewhere I'm not comfortable.
Yeah, I'm stopping right there. No, Broken Embraces. Pedro Almodovar, who is
that how you say it?
A Moldovar?
Moldovar. That's how I say it.
Sounds like
Moldovar.
Sounds like Moldovar.
Moldovar.
He's kind of moldy.
Man, it sounds like a Mexican villain. Like he should have a wrestling mask on and like jumping into the ring. Almodovar. But he is.
I thought his name was Pedro. I wish I were my mother.
Well, he is a very gay director, and he has it showing more and more in his films these days. I mean, he kind of showed it earlier with his fascination with women, and women love working with this director because they're like, yeah, he understands women, and then finally people realize, well, he's gay, of course, and so now his homosexuality is coming out in his films, and it plays a prominent part in this film. But there's a whole lot going on in this movie. I mean, I don't even know how to like tell you about this.
Is it like
film.
a TV novella?
No, it is. It's like
yeah.
3 seasons of a Mexican soap opera crammed together, kind of. In 2.5. Well, how long was it? It was like 2 hours, 15 minutes.
It was
like
long.
That.
Yeah, it was about
Jesus
2 hours
Christ.
and 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
It was way longer than it should have been.
And Pedro Almodovar is a Spanish director, and I like some of his movies. Talk to Her. Is that
Talk to Her.
I
Man,
like
that movie
that.
was fucked up. I liked it a lot, but it was fucked
I don't
up.
get that. It's one of those films everybody liked but me. I don't get him. The only movie I've ever liked by him, and I've seen quite a few of them, was Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, which was like his second film or
that
something.
That is good, and I even like was it Women on the
Women on the Verge of
You see,
Breakdown.
everybody loves that, and I'm like, okay, I didn't think it was funny at all.
I like it. I don't love it. I was told I was going to love it. When I saw it, I'm like, I like it all
But
right.
here I am watching this new one, and I'm sitting in the audience and going, I am bored out of my goddamn mind. This is so dumb and pointless. And I'm going to be the only guy. I'm going to be, once again, the guy walking out going, I don't even see what y'all see in this
Somebody tell me what this is about.
Yeah, but then I come out and everyone's like, yeah, it was kind of shit.
Well, there's a lot of elements going on here. We start out with a blind director who goes by a pseudonym, and immediately you know there's a backstory behind his blindness. And then you get the story of his assistant and her son, and there's something going on there. Now, that's what I do like about Pedro Almodovar, is that he does not reveal everything in the beginning.
Sure.
And then we go to this backstory of this rich corporate guy named Ernesto and his secretary, played by Penelope Cruz.
Of course.
And the plot thickens when Penelope Cruz, her father, who has stomach cancer, gets sick, and he's not being treated at the hospital anymore. So she has to start being an escort to pay his bills to get him treatment. And so
she just wanted an excuse to be a whore.
Oh yeah, exactly. He should look, well, she's kind of close. She's an actress.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What's the difference, right? But no. So
one will sleep with you for money.
No,
that is a pretty big difference, because I tried that on Scarlett Johansson.
And then we're backfired on your ass.
Total fail. Yeah.
No, well, she's with this is not just turned into an escort service anymore. They brushed right over that. You don't see any of that happening. We cut to immediately. She's been with this guy for a couple of years. Now she wants to work finally. She's just like, I don't want to be just your girlfriend. I want to do something. I want to be an actress, pursue my dreams. She is trying out for a film directed by a younger version of the blind guy that we saw in the beginning.
Who is not blind in this period of time.
Yeah, it's not blind right here. So then we know something is really about to happen. Now, we can tell already that those two are going to start having an affair.
Yeah.
And when that happens, this guy Ernesto, who is the corporate guy, he's even said in the movie, like, by the director, he's like, I have never seen a guy as obsessed with a woman as this man is, and I'm fucking this girl that he's obsessed with. So I just kind of screwed myself, because something tragic is about to happen.
Yeah.
And it does. He's been, to add to this already thickening plot, is the corporate guy's Ernesto's gay son, who he sent out to spy on them because he knows something is going on. And that guy showed up early in the movie trying to ask to direct a film, and we're wondering why he wants to direct a movie with this blind director. So we're wondering what his motivation was for doing that. Is he trying to get back at his father? Did he have a thing for the director? I mean, so it basically, all this comes together. It's a lot of plot lines, but it all comes together and threads together pretty well. It's just, the problem is it comes together, as you said at the beginning, as a TV novella. It's very melodramatic.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm hoping you're going to post a map with this review to let everybody know, like at least a scorecard as to who all the different characters are. I got lost.
I saw it and I was confused listening to your synopsis, and that's partially because it's all done not completely out of order. I mean, it goes back and forth with these time periods, and it takes a while before you figure out what the hell is going on at all. But even so, it's so much like a soap opera at points that, like, when you're saying, you know, oh, Penelope Cruz starts doing this film with this director and you know they're going to sleep together. Well, that's because that's the type of film this is, where that sort of thing would happen. It's kind of gaudy and tacky in its own way that it does it. The only thing that Almodovar is doing here that's interesting is there are these points he wants to be Hitchcock. And it kind of works when he's trying to be Hitchcock. I mean, they've got, I didn't check and see who's doing the score, but it's got, at those moments, it's got this excellent, cool, old school type of score.
It's kind of like a Bernard Herrmann sort of soundtrack it has to it, or score,
And you really get into it. I mean, that builds into it. There are these moments and you're like, wow, where is this going to go? This is suddenly interesting. But then it falls back into the same old type of shit that's not real interesting. And ultimately, it comes to a conclusion that you're like, the only thing you can say about it is, I don't get it.
Well, here's what I thought about the film. I was actually following this tangled web that everyone was weaving throughout the film. Actually, in a very soap opera kind of way, I was very interested. And then it got to a point where, because really, just if you want to take away all the confusion that I gave with all the plot lines going on earlier, it's just a story about a very jealous lover who ruins a bunch of lives.
Okay.
And there's a point where it culminates in the film where this jealous lover does something just really shitty and tragic. And it almost feels like that's somewhat of a climax for the movie. But then we have another hour of the film to go.
Oh, no, not one of those.
Yeah. And I don't, it happens. And then it's all about, you know, her having to stay with this guy when this happens and her having to protect somebody else. And at this point, we're not that interested anymore.
Yeah, and it gets worse from there, too. I mean, there's a point where you're like, okay, this is clearly the climax of the film. All we're going to get is an epilogue. But no, there's another 20 minutes of people just dithering about and then finally going, oh, I didn't tell you this whole thing earlier. And you're like, yeah, duh.
And there's a part in the movie where we're watching a film about a film. You know, so we're watching the film that this director is making.
Yeah.
And it's a shitty movie. Okay. I mean,
He's a blind director. Troma made this movie. It was called Terror Firmer.
No, he had his sight when he was making this film. Now, granted, something happened to make this movie even worse than what it was. But then there's a part in the movie where they just switch from the film we're watching to watching his movie. And it's almost like they're saying, because he's finally directing the movie he wants to make.
Yeah.
And he's saying, this is brilliant. And we look at it as an audience, we're like, this is a fucking terrible.
Yeah, one of the characters is like, this is so hysterical. I'm about to piss my pants. I'm laughing so hard. I got to see what happens next. I was like, that was supposed to be a comedy?
Now, I will give you this. Penelope Cruz, and this isn't just the shallow Corey talking.
Yes, it is. I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, we all know what Corey's going to say. He's just put the words together in a sentence of a woman who has working body parts. We know what's coming.
The shallow Cyrus is going to spit it out for you. She has sex, she gets naked, and it's worth the price of
admission. That's not what I was going to say. See, I was going to mention that, but you beat me to it.
I know.
I laid that trap out there for you.
Shallow Cyrus wins.
No, it's you threw titties in my face. No, there's she's gorgeous in the film. I mean, really, she is a movie star. You can tell that Pedro Almodovar he does know women, because he knows how to take this woman and show her for, like, not just being sexy, not for taking off her top, but really making her just a beautiful actress. I mean, she really does carry this film, Penelope Cruz. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, no, she's amazing in the movie. I mean, you're watching her having to, like, just play this what we think at first is some, like, ditzy, airheaded actress, and then she has to play like this tormented, injured woman who's like having to be kept pretty much a slave and kept from working for her dreams. And it's that torment that really makes the movie,
which might have saved the film if she wasn't only if you put it all together in really maybe a third of it. Because she's just not, I mean, she's not involved in a lot of these other storylines going on, and during them you're just like, let's get back to Penelope Cruz. I mean, she is extremely talented actress, and she glows. She's just gorgeous. I mean, admittedly, the blonde chick in the beginning who the blonde guy has sex with is hot too, but still.
Yeah, there's a part in this movie. I mean, you can't feel too sorry for this blind guy because he can just tell bitches on the street, "Hey, walk me to my house," and when they get there, they have sex with him.
Dude,
right on
I
the
was
spot.
just looking over at Corey during this opening scene because this guy is.
Was Corey taking notes?
This guy is playing it. I mean, he has got his routine down to hook up with the hottest tail in town. I mean, he's got his line, his script all memorized. I can just see Corey going, "Yeah, I'm gonna get some like glassy eye contacts." And
Now, you know what? Yeah, I'm walking around.
he's got his little cane.
I'm bumping in the walls. Please help me. Help me. Fuck me. What'd you say? I mean, help me.
Telling her, watch out for that skate down there.
But you know something?
I haven't had sex since my fiance died during our rock climbing accident 10 years ago.
You think he's lying, but he's not. And you didn't think I saw you. But during
I
that
thought
sex
he
scene,
was, yeah.
He was
really-
jacking off in the theater.
Yeah, he had his coat over his lap. No, he did. He actually did turn and look at me like to see if I was taking notes.
I did. I'm not
Whoa. There was a hot sex scene on the screen, and you turned to look at Corey.
Stop it right now. Stop
Really?
it.
That's where
And
you
what's
went?
even worse, at the time,
You look bad.
No, I was dressed like Urkel. I had my glasses on. I had a little notepad, and I was like, "All right, first of all, throw fucking."
Yeah, you
out.
were taking notes, so I was justified.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why it didn't work out for me. Okay, I got it now.
When I mace myself in the eyes, get a cane. Nah, it's there's some good performances in the movie besides Penelope Cruz. I'm looking at the guy's name right here, Luis Homar, I believe is how you say his name. We wouldn't know him in America, but he really did carry this film also.
No, that guy cut my yard last week.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Hey,
Aw, see?
how'd he do?
We're going there again.
Really? Can you got his number?
No, I'm the only reason I'm making that joke because we had that one guy who wrote a comment saying like, "Oh, you guys are making fun of the Mexicans, huh? Like we don't count." And
These
I'm
guys
like,
are
dude,
Spanish, not Mexican. No,
It's not that you don't count; it's that we lost count.
I just wrote it. I was like, "You're new here."
Yeah, I saw that. And the thing is, I'm glad you said it because that email was directed towards me.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it said, "Corey, oh, you can talk about everybody else. No, you can defend every other race, but you talk about Mexicans like we don't count, huh?" And I was
We are an equal opportunity offender.
We are. And when you said that, you said you haven't been here very long to hear us talk about blacks, Chinese, whites, Eskimos, everybody else.
Yeah.
But no, it's this guy really he has to be blind in the film, and he does convince you that while he doesn't ever look young in the movie, he does convince you that, okay, I can make this toupee work for me in this scene where I'm supposed to be younger.
It's not bad. I mean, you certainly don't.
And he
know.
plays it, and when he's blind, he's actually doing a really good job at that. And you do feel for the guy after a certain point. Now, there's other points in the movie where, like the guy who plays the gay character, which I don't know his name, but maybe it's because I don't know if that character is supposed to be over the top, or if the actor is playing him over the top, because he plays a character who comes in and says, "Call me by my artistic name, Ray X. I want to denounce the name of my father." And it's like,
Is he supposed to be a symbol for the director himself, which is the only thing I can think? Because
I don't know.
He himself wants to be a director. He takes a camera with him everywhere. Essentially, he's filming the events of the whole film himself. So I can't help but think maybe there's something I just don't know about Pedro's life that would probably be extremely awkward to know about.
Well, I have to
He's a
say, I mean,
representative of.
and that's why I didn't enjoy that character so much. I did enjoy the plot line of him having to spy on this couple, having to hide their affair from what is obviously a dangerous guy that they're having to hide their affair from.
Yeah, evil rich guy.
Yeah.
Stereotype number 17.
Yeah. No, I mean, the movie, like I said, if you take it on its base level as sort of a telenovela or a soap opera, it can be enjoyable, except, like I said, that second half doesn't follow through with that. It turns into somewhat of an art film, and those two films, they just don't jive that together very well for me. So I'm going to give the movie a rental, an enjoyable rental, but a rental.
That's always my problem with Almodovar, is that he'll have some neat stuff in his films, but it never feels like it's supposed to go inside the same film. It's just kind of jarring. I mean, the very least, this didn't have that trademark what the fuck moment that his movies usually do.
And they tried here.
They did, but it's not really one of those. His films usually like Talk to Me has that moment. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But this doesn't have that, which I was actually grateful for. But still, it just never really congeals. And the only thing it has going for it on the whole is the acting. But if you don't have anything good to do with it, who cares? I mean, it's a low rental for me. I wish I could like it more, but
low rental.
it just doesn't speak to me. I mean, Penelope Cruz's boobs speak to me, but that's a whole other story. You can read.
That has
Do they
to
speak
do
in
with a
Spanish?
flashback and lots of acid back in the day.
You can read my book about it coming out soon. Me and Penelope Cruz's breasts.